And we're live.
So exciting. We're live. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween, Podfeet.
So we're getting started a little bit early tonight. Maybe we'll have to apologize to people who come in on time, Steve,
Yes.
and explain. We've got, it's coming up on 5 o'clock, and the cutest kids are at
The early
6.
hour. Yeah.
Yeah, the real early one. So we have a sign out saying the doors will open at 6, but we're hoping to get done earlier than that. So maybe we'll do I could do a roll call break when if Al comes in at on time. Should I do that? Start and then do a roll call break.
Sure.
All right. I am gonna mute Steve and just start. What do you guys think?
Sounds good.
Let me. Okay. I love it when I write stuff at the last minute. All right, here goes. Nope, you gotta be in the right app. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeet.com, a technology geek podcast with an ever so slight Apple bias. Today is Sunday, October 31st, 2021, and this is show number 860. Well, happy Halloween, everybody. The live chat room is a bit of a ghost town this week. See what I did there? Because everybody's off giving candy to the little monsters, but you know what? We're still having fun and we're still here. This week's Chit Chat Across the Pond will be an episode of Programming by Stealth, but it's actually not published just yet. It's a great episode, but Bart and I ran into some inconsistencies in the behavior of the examples as I ran them on my system versus him running them on his, so we're trying to sort that out yet. The recording is finished, but we have to do some cleanup before we publish, so there's going to be a slight delay of game. I'll update the show notes to this episode to reflect it when it comes out. Probably will be tomorrow if nothing else goes wrong. Okay, so there's no link because there's no chit chat. I'm just going to do a little chapter marker about, this is also not a blog post.
So I'm a little bit behind. Did you send me the links?
Oh, shoot, I did not.
And I can't get into Podfeet. That would normally be okay, but I can't get into your website.
Okay, sorry, I forgot to do that. I got to set up Feeder. I wonder if Feeder's going to work tonight. We'll find out. Yeah, give me 1 second here.
I can't even get it on my M1.
Really?
Yeah. This is disconcerting. Oh, wait. Oh, now it's asking me for password. Maybe I can.
Okay, preview. Yeah, there's not much. There's 3. Let's see. You like them in mail, right?
Yeah.
Okay, there's only 3 links.
That's fine.
Because one is... Wait, why is there only 3? Yeah. Yeah, because there's only 3. Okay. Okay, muting Steve. This week, Steve and I took delivery of our 14-inch M1 Max, and we're both over the moon about them. I can't remember the last time I've been this excited about a new Mac. Wait a minute, did I say the same thing? Oh, yeah, no, I got to do this. Okay. This week, Steve and I took delivery of our 14-inch M1 Max, and we are both over the moon about them. I can't remember the last time I've been this excited about a new Mac. You know, each Mac I've gotten has been faster and niftier in a lot of ways than the one before, but I don't know, this one's different. In the past, I've upgraded every 3 years, so you would have thought the differences would be bigger, but this time it was only 2, and yet the change to the M1 is just as amazing as everyone says it is. Now, I said before that I'm pretty superficial in that if a device doesn't look different, I have trouble noticing how much better it is. In this case, going from the 16-inch behemoth down to the 14-inch is a huge physical change, and I love it. In addition, the form factor is a throwback to the old PowerBook days with the chunkier, kind of squared off style. So my computer is thinner, lighter, and at most of the things I throw at it, way faster. So Steve and I decided to do the live show from our new Macs. Even as I speak, we are using macOS Monterey in its very first week on a brand new hardware design with a clean install of all of our software.
Woohoo.
Now, the software we use... Steve is talking in the live chat room. That's helpful. Anyway, the software we use to mix the video and audio for the live show is called Mimo Live from Boink Software, and it's not actually released for M1 yet, so we're running a beta version. Basically, it's like we're juggling chainsaws and hand grenades on a tightrope 100 feet above a pit of very hungry crocodiles. What could possibly go wrong? But guess what? It's working beautifully. We did some test runs this afternoon, and for the first time ever, we saw 0 frames dropped for the entire test. Now, normally this is an ever-increasing total, and you could see the choppiness of the video as a result, but not with these beasts. Steve's decked-out 2017 27-inch iMac would struggle with the once-considered great Intel CPUs churning away in the high 90th percentile range, but his tiny 14-inch MacBook Pro has been running around 35%. It's just cooking along. When Steve's iMac was churning away like that, the fan noise was pretty noticeable. Surprisingly, the fans on Steve's 14-inch are also spinning up in this operation. They're not terrible and definitely not feeding into his microphone, but it does appear they're getting a workout. It's possible the beta version of Mimo Live may be the cause because it might not be optimized yet. I'm just not really sure. This is our first time out. Now, you all know I was a big defender of 1Password when they switched over to being an Electron app, and I continue to think that wasn't a bad move. One of the main reasons I continue to support them on this is that their Electron app is really fast. On the M1 Max, it's a blink of an eye to launch, or maybe not even that long. You know, my eyes are closed when I'm blinking, so I'm not sure how long it actually takes. I mentioned that almost everything I throw at it at this M1 Max is really fast, but I got to tell you, most of the other Electron apps I'm running are just dog slow to launch, just as dog slow as they were on Intel. Discord, Slack, GitKraken, and Visual Studio Code, they all take like 5 or 6 seconds to launch. I know that sounds like maybe I've got my schedule a little bit too tight if I can't wait that long, but it's an eternity when you're waiting to get to work. Now, I'm sure I'll have more to say over time about the new Max, but as David Roth put it so eloquently in a text to me about his new 14-inch M1 Max, I'm head over heels in love. There we go. I sort of wish I'd asked you how many frames are dropped by the end. Steve, I don't hear you. Does anybody hear him?
That's because I'm muted.
Ah, okay.
0 so far.
No, but how many normally would be?
I don't normally look at that number at the end. I don't.
Oh, okay.
Normally, I just noticed.
But I mean,
it.
would it be tens, hundreds?
It's been hundreds at times. Yeah.
Okay.
The other thing I notice is I get a graph of the upload speed, and it's solid. It's 3.2 megabits per second. I get a plot over time of the upload for the video stream.
Oh, really? Is
Yeah.
it normally not?
It's
smooth?
Sometimes choppy, like I
Okay.
see dips, and that's usually when I get some drop frames. No drop
Okay.
frames. Ooh.
Yay. That's amazing. Yeah. I don't normally watch it, but I have seen it go up. But yeah, I'm seeing 0. You should take a screenshot of that for Oliver. I think you'd get a kick out of it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I might as well do roll call since it's 5:05.
Yeah.
We've got Frank O'Carroll and Jill and John and Rose and Rick and Sandy and Troy and Michael. And we came in the sidebar. Who was it? Troy. Wait, no, there's Troy. Somebody else came in the sidebar, didn't they? Who was it? Somebody came in. Don't know, Steve?
Nope.
Shoot. I saw somebody was in the sidebar. Oh, well.
Nuclear John?
No? No, he's playing a game. He doesn't love us anymore. We've got our allotment of John here so far, so we're doing okay.
Okay.
All right, I've got a tiny tip. So you notice I've got all my little jingles in here already.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing.
Doing good.
This is actually a tiny tip from Helma. Okay, I should do a chapter mark. Oh, let's see if my
Yeah,
my
let's see if
Keyboard
this
Maestro
works.
macros, I think they're all working. Copy link. Copy. Here we go. Keyboard Maestro would like to record this computer screen. Open system preferences. Oh, that means I'm going to have to restart. I'm going to have to restart it, aren't I? Let's see if it's going to work. Let's try this again. That's interesting. It has to record the screen. Mashing keys. It's making the right noise. Let's see if it works this time. Copy link. Copy. It's working.
Yeah.
Woohoo! So it's not, Keyboard Maestro has iCloud syncing, so I just turned on iCloud syncing and all of a sudden all my keystrokes work. So everything I've been using so far has been working great.
And there's no more info on the first marker, just the title.
That's
because there's no link. Okay.
Right, and there was no link for chit chat yet.
Got it.
Because I didn't do a chit chat. And there's no link to give them because it's not published. Okay, here we go. All right. When you hear that music, you know it's a tiny tip on the way. And this week's tiny tips come from Helma from the Netherlands. She sent me an email and am I stumbling? Start that again. Well, this week's tiny tip comes from Helma from the Netherlands, and it's actually several tips. She sent me an email recently and agreed to be okay if I elaborated on it for all of you. Her opening line was, "Did you know that the path bar in the Finder is more than just a visual display of where your current directory is located?" So before we dig into her tips about what you can do with the path bar, let's make sure everybody has it turned on. In the Finder, go to the View menu and choose Show Path Bar, or you can hit Command-Option-P to toggle it on and off, or off and on in this case. At the bottom of every window, you should be able to see the full path to your location in the Finder, shown quite visually, starting with an icon for your drive. One of my checklist items after a nuke and pave, or like I did this week, a pave, is to turn the path bar on because I often use it to make sure I know where I am. But I did not know how much you could actually do with the path bar. So tip number 1, Helma explained that you can change directory higher in the path, that is closer to your root, by simply double-clicking on the upper level directory name. At the top of every Finder window is your current directory name, and I've been command-clicking on that to get a drop-down of my path and then clicking on the upper-level directory. All this time, the path bar has been right in front of me, where, as Helma says, a simple double-click does the navigation up the tree for me. This is positively brilliant. Now, Helma also uses the path bar to move a file up the directory structure. She gave an example use case for this action. If you open a zip file, you almost always want the files at the same level where you save the zip file, but they end up in a directory one level deeper. Now you can simply select all of the files in the unzipped folder and drag them onto the next directory up in your path bar. That's a brilliant way to do it. Now, Helma's second tip with the path bar is a bit nerdier, but it's very helpful for people who are newer to using the terminal. In terminal, you use the cd command to change directory. But typing in directory names is tedious and time-consuming and has some really tricky bits to how they must be formatted. If you come from a pure Finder view of the world and you're new to the terminal, you probably have spaces in the names of your folders, because why wouldn't you? The terminal doesn't like spaces, so you have to escape them. Now, escaping something means to put another character in that tells the command to skip the next character, that is, skip the space that it doesn't want to have. In the terminal, we use the / character to escape spaces. So that's a lot of words around this. Let me make it real simple. If you had a directory called my stuff, MySpace stuff, in the terminal, you would have to type cd space my / stuff for the terminal to understand what you mean. You can imagine how long and complicated this can get if you need to change it to a directory that's buried really deep in your file system. So to make this easier, Helma suggested typing cd in the terminal, and then in the Finder, navigate to the directory you desire and simply drag the icon for the directory from the path bar into terminal. This action will automatically type in the entire path and escape any spaces in that path name. Now, I've been using a form of this, but not with the path bar. Bart taught us ages ago about the proxy icon in Finder windows. Proxy icons are the little graphic at the top of every Finder window next to the name of the directory you're in. At least there used to be a little icon there before macOS Big Sur came along. Because Apple is often obsessive about simplicity over function, they decided to auto-hide the proxy icon on us. If you really, truly want to see the proxy icon, you have to hover over the directory name and wait for it to appear. We already talked about how tight my schedule is. I can't be waiting for it to appear. Or you can actually click and force it to appear, and then you can click again to drag that into the terminal. Now, it's super aggravating, and I was really hoping they would have changed it back in macOS Monterey, but they did not. Now, Helma has revealed that the directory name is right there in our path bar, waiting to be dragged anywhere we like. There's no waiting, there's no hovering, there's no extra click. Just select the directory name in the path and drag it into the terminal window. It's wonderful. Now, another place for dragging the directory name, if you're not nerdy enough to be using the terminal yet, is in Save As dialog boxes. How many times have you had the correct folder open in Finder, but you go to save a file from an application and it's defaulted to some different location? You can simply drag the directory name right out of the path bar onto the Save As dialog box, and it will instantly change the save location to the one you dragged in. I use this all day long. The bottom line is I'm really glad Helma sent in these tips on what you can do with the path bar. I've been so annoyed by the disappearing act of the proxy icon in recent versions of macOS, and now I can simply ignore it completely. Within a few days of learning this from Helma, my muscle memory was retrained to go to the bottom of the window instead of the top when I needed to do any kind of directory navigation. Thank you, Helma. What a great set of tips. Did you guys all know that already?
I knew parts of it. I don't think I knew all of those tips. They're embedded tips and tips.
You know what? I think I've got some feeding from one. Gotta check this. I've got feedback. How do I say this right? When I'm playing back from Hindenburg, like the Tiny Tip music, it was feeding into the recording. Let me
really?
Just double. Let me double check this real quick. Whoop. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Know that?
Yeah.
And if you hear that, the music track isn't there. That one's not as bad.
I don't really notice it there.
Yeah, let me see if it's. I may have to fix that later. The beginning. What happens if I mute that and I just do this then? Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast. Yeah. I'm gonna fix that. Fix feedback. Hindenburg. A lot of moving parts to this. You still use the proxy icon, John? Try using that path bar. It's just wonderful. It makes me so happy. Let's see, close that one. And now what's up next?
Encrypt me.
Yeah, I've been holding this one for a while. This is unfortunate news. Let's see. You're not going to like it if you're a fan of Encrypt Me. Not good news. Okay. Ooh, I got to go back and find that one. I wrote this weeks ago, but I've been saving it each week. All right. Ooh, there it is. Look at that cool logo I made. Do you see that cool graphic, Steve? Stick that in the show notes.
I will, as soon as you start.
Oh, I have to start. Okay,
yes.
Fine. Okay, then I'm going to mute you. Mute. Okay. Longtime NosillaCastaway John Schaffer wrote in what he called a dumb question a few weeks ago that actually caught me by surprise. He told me that the VPN service Encrypt.me was combining with one called StrongVPN. He wondered how the change was going to affect the commitment to privacy and security. Well, I've been using Encrypt.me since it was called Cloak, so for at least 15 years, and I've been a big proponent of it on the podcast, and I know a lot of you have started using it because I said such great things about it. Now, my loyalty to Encrypt.me is so strong that for the roughly 18 months I didn't even leave my house, I kept paying for Encrypt.me because I wanted them to stay in business and still be around when I poked my nose out the front door for the first time. This news from John that they'd combined with Strong VPN was news to me, and like John, I was very interested in the future of this product. I made some inquiries and I engaged in a video teleconference with two representatives for Strong VPN. I spoke to Sabu Sathanu, VP of Consumer Product Strategy, and Ariona Aslani, VPN Product Management and Okay, start that over again. Geez, those are hard names, and I got one name right. I spoke to Sabu Sathanu, VP of Customer Product Strategy, and I can either do the product strategy or their names, not both in the same sentence, apparently. I spoke to Sabu Sathanu, VP of Consumer Product Strategy, and Ariona. One more time. I spoke to Sabu Sathanu, VP of Consumer Product Strategy, and Ariona Aslani, VPN Product Management and Product Marketing. They each brought different perspectives that provided a good background on what has happened so far and where they see the future product development going. Now, before I get into any details of the future, the main takeaway from our conversation is that Encrypt will stay in place for current customers for the foreseeable future, but new customers will be directed towards Strong VPN. I believe they really will keep Encrypt around for a fairly long time, and I'll elaborate on why I believe them on that. The biggest thing I didn't understand coming into this blind is that there have been a lot of mergers and acquisitions over time in these products. I didn't know that Encrypt had been bought by J2. I'll say it yet. Why am I stumbling so much? I didn't know. Maybe I need some alcohol. I'm drinking water. That's my problem here.
That can be delivered.
John says he's seeing artifacts in my audio. Hearing. Okay, they aren't.
Seeing?
Or hearing. Well, I'm stumbling on my words.
Yeah, those may not be artifacts.
Yeah, really.
Would you like something to drink, dear?
No, thanks. In these products.
Well, that playback is loud.
Okay. I'm sorry.
That's right.
Okay. I didn't know, for example, that Encrypt had been bought by J2 Global over 2 years ago. Sabu described a series of VPN-owning company mergers, and I won't even attempt to replicate how we got here, but J2 Global just changed its name to Ziff Davis. Yeah, that Ziff Davis. I put a link in the show notes if you want to read all of everything that's gone on with these mergers. Now that we have a name for the company that owns Encrypt, I can explain why you care, and if you care, about Encrypt. Ziff Davis now has a portfolio of VPN tools with an array of capabilities from end users who simply want to protect their web traffic when in a coffee shop to higher level capabilities such as threat intelligence and analysis, security and backup for businesses, and more. Sabu emphasized that they're all about privacy and security. I think at this point, John's original question about whether the new stewards of Encrypt would continue the commitment to security and privacy was definitely answered. Now, I asked Sabu whether we could end up in a situation like what Dropbox did to its customers. You know, Dropbox won the internet's love by letting us store our data in a cloud service that synced all of our devices. But then they got more aspirational and they started trying to force more capabilities on us, creating a bloated app and providing services many of us didn't need or want. Well, Sabu had a great answer. He explained that while they will be consolidating their end-user VPN tools from 3 down to 1, they're committed to serving this specific market while advancing their broader tools for the business customers. Now, the 3 VPN tools they own now are Encrypt, IPVanish, and Strong VPN. Sabu explained these 3 brands. IPVanish is for the home user looking for a highly customizable and powerful VPN brand. Strong VPN is for a more technical home user. And Encrypt is for the home user who's looking for a set-it-and-forget-it option. Now, the next part of the conversation is what gave me hope as an Encrypt user. Sabu explained that Encrypt has an incredibly loyal user base, And he said, and this is the most important thing he said to me, it's a very lucrative user base. So they want to make sure they don't do anything to lose those customers. You know, they can say all the nice words, but when they say it's lucrative, you know they're going to do the work. Well, at least you hope so. Their long-term goal is to learn from the Encrypt customers what it is about the tool that keeps them so loyal, and then build those features into StrongVPN. Only when StrongVPN can provide what the Encrypt users need will they start any kind of migration effort to StrongVPN. I don't think this is going to be anytime soon because they said StrongVPN had no new development in 4 years. That kind of gave me pause. However, he said that Encrypt has a very loyal user base, and remember, they don't want to disrupt those users. You know what? I've got a whole paragraph doubled in there. Nobody noticed that in the 3 weeks that article's been up. I say the same thing again. The best part of the call was when Sabu and Ariona asked me to talk about why I'm so loyal to Encrypt and what I find important about it. They really wanted to know. I explained that the main reason I've been a longtime user is that it's set it and forget it. I walk into a hotel in Nepal and my iPhone, Mac, and iPad all turn on Encrypt automatically. Just like a good backup strategy has to be automatic, I think so does a good VPN tool. If you have to remember to turn it on, you're going to have some escapes there. I also said that a critical feature of Encrypt was the ability to add networks to be trusted. When I go to tech-savvy grandma's house, I know I can trust her network, and Encrypt lets me set that up so I'm not going through a VPN when I'm visiting her. Once I tell Encrypt to trust her network, I don't have to take any action the next time I visit. I asked them I'd like to see what StrongVPN looks like. Ariona demonstrated StrongVPN on her PC and her iPhone. StrongVPN also runs on Android and the Mac and on an iPad. It even runs on a Fire TV stick. If you're comfortable setting up OpenVPN with Linux, you can run StrongVPN with that as well. Ariona gave me a license for StrongVPN, and I tested it for a while on my Mac and on iOS. The main interface is quite simple. It shows a flattened globe, a country icon over your location, and you can choose a server location or best available server and hit connect. You can see your IP address changed and the time elapsed since you've been connected. It's that easy to use. If you only go that deep into StrongVPN, you don't have to worry your pretty little head about anything else. But if you go into preferences, it immediately gets geeky. It's got a section under OpenVPN/L2TP, which I've heard of, but I don't understand. You can select IPv6 leak protection, and there's a kill switch. Kind of wanted to click it just to see what would happen, but I chickened out. It gets even deeper on the Advanced tab where it talks about IKEv2 and IPsec and more. You can set it to launch at login and connect at launch, but on macOS, StrongVPN doesn't have a way to save certain networks as safe places where it doesn't need to launch, so tech-savvy grandma's network would always be protected. On iOS, however, buried in a very oddly named setting, you can tell it what networks to trust. I knew it was in the settings somewhere, but I actually had to ask Ariona where it was. It's inside On-Demand Settings. By default, when you go into On-Demand Settings, you simply have a toggle to connect automatically to StrongVPN. That's the Set It and Forget It menu that's my primary requirement. I never would have guessed, though, that this is where I tell it to trust networks because the menu never mentions anything about that feature. Only once you toggle Connect on Demand will 2 new options reveal themselves. You can now choose to trust cellular networks, which is a good switch to have if you don't think you can trust your ISP to not sniff your networks. Below that, you'll now see the option to add Wi-Fi networks you trust. This checks the box for my second requirement, but it's not as easy as with Encrypt. On Encrypt, you'll see a list of all the Wi-Fi networks you've trusted in the past, and the one you're currently connected to is at the top. It even slides itself a little to the left just to invite you to pick it as the network to trust. With StrongVPN, you have to type in the name of the network. I know that's not a huge deal, but it's a bit tedious sometimes to exactly transcribe a network name with capitalization and spaces and such. Why not just have it be something you can click? I tested adding my home network, White Dart, as a trusted network to StrongVPN, and for some reason, StrongVPN took that as a signal to protect my traffic rather than allowing it. I tried disconnecting StrongVPN, and I got a pop-up telling me that disconnection from the VPN will disable my on-demand settings. So either I completely misunderstand how this works, or I've run into a bug. Either way, as both Sabu and Ariona explained, StrongVPN is not ready for the Encrypt users to embrace. I'm very glad they're not going to disrupt Encrypt until StrongVPN is ready. Now, the good news is that Ariona's team wants to hear from you on what you like about Encrypt to help her team drive the changes to StrongVPN to get it ready for us. She gave me an email address for users to send in their feedback directly to the team, so I hope if you're willing to help, you'll write to them at the link I've provided in the show notes. The bottom line is that I think you'll be fine running Encrypt.me for quite a long time, as they're just now gathering their strategy on how to proceed. You do have the opportunity to guide them in their decisions as well. With all that said, when a product has been declared end of active development, I really like to move to a new product on my own schedule rather than wait until I have to make a choice in a hurry. Encrypt isn't abandonware, but it's also not going to be enhanced, and it will be quite some time before StrongVPN will be enhanced to be good enough for Encrypt users to migrate to it. I was very encouraged by my conversation with the new team members stewarding this product, but it might be time to see what else is out there that could meet your needs. If you have a VPN service that you like that provides cross-platform capabilities, has set it and forget it, and allows you to trust networks so you don't have to worry about it, I would very much like to hear some reviews of the tools that you guys find useful. All right. I'm going to add this to
So that ending seems to be a little bit different than what's in the blog post. Did you edit?
I just said something different at the end.
Okay, got it. You were winging it.
A little bit.
Going off script.
Maybe. Can I do that?
Sure. It worked that time.
I didn't screw it up too much. Let's see. Okay, hang on. Okay.
So you only have, let's see.
Mail to.
Okay.
Feeder.
By the way, we have a returning person to the chat room. Bubbly.
Oh, who?
Bubbly. Apparently,
Bubbly?
Bubbly hasn't been with us for a while. It's not since we started on Discord, and I think we've been on Discord for a long time. But welcome back, Bubbly. Maybe how long have we been on Discord? Maybe 2-3 years, at least.
I don't know. I'm bad at that kind of stuff.
Yeah, me too.
Well, hi, Bubbly. iVPN? No, I haven't heard of that one. I sense a review coming. I think maybe Encrypt was pretty inexpensive too. I forget what I pay. Something like $10 a month for 5 or 6 users. I looked at one of the ones all the other podcasters are advertising to, and it was like twice as much to have just me and Steve.
So just a heads up, Bubbly, that the audio and video on YouTube and Allison's live stream page is delayed by 20 seconds, maybe 30. You can also listen real time, more or less, in the Discord live show listen tab on the left menu under live show listen. If you click that button, you'll get a much faster audio, but then it's not synced with the video. So it's kind of
it's a tough call.
Yeah, tough call.
Actually, I wonder if it's any closer together with with the new machines.
The delay is YouTube. It's well, it might be on Discord closer with real time, but real time,
yeah. Okay, you've used it from time to time, not enough to compare. It's not any closer. Okay. All right. Let me do a little spam here.
All right.
Stop it. We both keep muting him. Okay, here we go. As we continue to honor the longtime patrons of the Podfeet podcast, I'd like to throw a special shout out to this next batch of fine folks who've been supporting the show for 4 long years. We've got Paul Markham, Raleigh Bernard, John Holler, Tim Jar, Rick Cartwright, Stephen Ewell, Jens Judge, and Terry Austin, Mike Price, and Bruce Wilson. All of you fine people have made this show possible, and I thank you for 4 full years worth. Now, if you'd like to find people like them, please head over to podfeet.com/Patreon and show your support in a financial way. 4 years, Rick. You're muted. Well, maybe you're only muted to me. I am old. You're 4 years old.
Happy 4th birthday.
All right. So why is this? No, that's not what I want. I want Security Bits music. So the question is, what have I done in my? It's the way I've set up Loopback. Okay, so YTL input captures my microphone and Hindenburg, and my mic is just passed through. I wonder if I set Hindenburg to use YTL. I did. I did. It's user error. There we go.
See if this one works.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. That's what it was. Okay.
Was this a long Security Bits?
Long enough that I think this is going to help us make up some time here.
Okay.
So let me drag these in. Yeah, Bubbly, you're going to get a short show here. Oh, let's listen to Bart for a second here.
Blink.
See, you don't get that without coming to the live show.
Blink. Blink.
You know, when I moved over to my new Mac, I had to export all of the favorites and import them all back into Hindenburg. And I made sure I kept things like this. Oh, wait.
Blinky blink.
Oh, it's my favorite one.
Blinky blink.
Yeah, I know, right? Or I like this one from Bart.
I shall plinky the plink plinks.
That's meta.
And, oh, okay. Name this voice. Don't you do it, Steve. You'll know.
Plank.
Oh, I know who that is, yeah.
Do you guys recognize that voice?
Yeah, Rick got
Plank.
it.
Yeah. Tom Merritt. And, okay, how about this one?
Blink.
That's a little harder.
Blink.
I don't know who that is.
Blink. Blink.
Is that you?
Anybody know? Nope. That's Melissa Davis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, and then another important thing, file I brought over.
Yay!
You just insert that at random times.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Let's see. Take that one out. And actually, this one I usually put here. And I'm going to put me. Okay, that one's me. Put this here, Al. And we'll put me up here. Right there. All right. And split that one and split that one. It sounds like a lot of monsters outside, doesn't it?
They're gathering already.
Unless you have your TV on.
No.
Really?
No.
Wow. There's a lot of yelling out there.
Yeah. Maybe there's a party.
Yeah, maybe. The block around the corner has got lots of fun going on. All right. Let's see how this sounds. Maybe about there. Okay. Let's give this a listen. My natural way. Whoops. I muted that track. Okay. Well, it's that time of the week again. It's time for Security Bits with Bart Busschots. How you doing today, Bart?
Do you want an honest answer or a tactful answer?
Well, you can tell people what you're dealing with. I think people like to know how we're doing for real.
Yeah, so I'm not allowed to cycle for a week. I'm not allowed to do any proper walking, just quote-unquote light walking on a level surface. I'm not used to being passed on foot. I'm used to being the fastest on the pavement, and now I'm with the pensioners. And as best as I can tell, I'm not 100% sure, but about 2 weeks ago, I walked into the open door of the dishwasher very hard, made some amazingly creative non-Boy Scout safe noises, and thought I got away with it, but very slowly over time, instead of getting better, my leg has been getting worse, and then it went from, slowly worse to, okay, that wasn't like that yesterday. I got to discover that my health insurance pays for a private accident and emergency clinic that isn't fully backed up, which is a relief because everything else in this country is. I rang my doctor. Yeah, we can see you next week. That's no good.
It hurts really bad right now.
Yeah, and I'm worried because at the time I hadn't put two and two together. It only after a lot of thinking did I connect it to the dishwasher. But when the doctor did that whole thing where they pushed, does it hurt here? Does it hurt here? They're like, ow, yeah, there. It was like exactly at the point in the shin where I walloped it. So.
Yeah, I've never heard of a soft tissue damage getting worse like that. But
she thinks
I hope it's nothing more than that.
As the doctor.
All right, enough of that.
Your voice seems a little bit delayed relative to his. A touch.
Delayed.
Or his, is it?
Well, so I just talked over him there, so I don't know how you could tell what it should have sounded like.
Well,
here,
that was...
let me see. Let's see after he finishes his sentence.
This is the first time a doctor has told me to be less active.
Well, and the worst part is you don't... Maybe, but let's see. 12 kids. Steve, what's our record?
295, I think, something like that.
Jeez. That's crazy. All right, I'm going to move this up a little bit, but it's going to make the opening like this. Boost shots. How you doing today, Bart?
Do you want an honest answer or a tactful answer?
Maybe split the difference a little bit there, but yeah, that's right about where I had it. Let me see, go down here. Oh. All right, well, I hope you feel better soon.
The means of the problem.
Okay.
And
direction.
No, it was...
Yeah, that's as close as I'm going to be able to get it. All right, so...
Stay patched, so you stay secure.
54 minutes, that's good. And I didn't play something I had. Got a nice, chewy, long interview. I'll do it next week. All right. Muting Steve for the closeout here. Well, that's going to wind us up for this week. Did you know that you can email me anytime you want? You can email me at allison@podfeed.com. You could send me your VPN choice. What do you like in your VPN? You can ask questions or give me a suggestion. Just send it on over. I love to get email from you. And let's see, I have left Facebook, at least for now. I think I'm at like 3 or 4 weeks now, and I'm not missing it. And so if you want to follow me online, the best place is Twitter, and you can do that by following me at Podfeed. Better yet, if you want to really engage with the community, join our Slack community at podfeed.com/Slack, where you can talk to not just me, but all of the other lovely Nosilla castaways. Lots and lots and lots of people have been joining, especially since they heard I left Facebook. I don't know what happened, but people are piling in there, and it's just chatty enough. It's not too chatty. It's just chatty enough. I love it in there. Anyway, remember, everything good starts with podfeed.com. You could support the show by going to podfeed.com/Patreon, like the fine 4-year people you heard about this week. Or if you want to do a one-time donation, you could do it at podfeed.com/PayPal. And if you want to join in the fun of the live show like Bubbly did for the first time in forever, head on over to podfeed.com/live on Sunday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific time and join the friendly and enthusiastic Nosilla castaways. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed. There we go. What are all the HEIC files? Beef prices, shampoo and blow dry their cows. What under? Is something happened to John?
Well, part of the problem is the HEIC files aren't resolving, so this is probably a visual joke that's just not coming through.
Yeah, you might want to make those into JPEGs.
JPEGs, yeah.
Hey, subscribe. What?
I think I've got a setting on Discord wrong here, or not as I used to, because it's also not bringing up the primary graphics for the posts. So I need to go in and adjust that.
Oh, you mean when you paste into Discord, it's just putting the link?
Yes, it's not showing.
Oh, it's possible with that security bits one that I forgot the logo.
None of these have resolved.
Really?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I think it's my Discord settings.
Okay,
I will fix that.
The beginning here. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the. Okay, so I've got the mix on that one. before I fixed it. And then I guess I better get rid of, I think I better get rid of this one too. NosillaCast pod. Oops. Tiny tips. Whoop. Take me there. Come on. I thought I could double click that. Why didn't it just let me click it to go there? There we go. I'm head over heels in love. This week, all right, we got everybody out. I'm glad you came again, Bubbly. It looks like people are leaving, so we should call it a day, and then you can open up the doors to the little monster, Steve.
I will do that, and thanks for coming, everybody. Happy
Happy Halloween. Bye, Rose. Mwah.